Hi everyone, in today's video I will show you how to install SABnzbd and how to configure it properly. The first step will be to go into SABnzbd official website. The link is going to be in the video description. You go on top right and you click download. Once you have the file, you go ahead and open your download folder, double click on it. First step is to choose the language. I will go with English today. Click OK. You're going to obviously read this and then you're going to click I agree. On this page, I will leave the first three checked. The last one is run at startup. You want to check this if you want SABnzbd to run when your Windows is booting. I personally leave it unchecked because I only want SAB to be running whenever I'm downloading NZB files, and I just close the software when I'm done. So you can go ahead and click next. This is your destination folder. This is where SABnzbd will be installed. This isn't necessarily where your files will be downloaded on Usenet. So you can leave this as default for now, and the downloaded folders will be set up after. You go on next, you leave this as default, and you click install. When this is done, you click finish. You can go ahead and close the release note, and we're going to go and set up using the quick start wizard. The first thing you want to do is make sure the language is selected properly. You go and start wizard. Now this is the server detail. This is referring to your provider. When you subscribe to your Usenet provider, they will send you information either on your profile or through email. I have two examples here. The first one would be here. This is one of my providers. This is the information they sent. As you can see, you have the NNTP server addresses. This is the address that you'd put as your host. Okay, so you choose the address that you like. Usually you choose the one that is closest to you. I'm in North America, so this one would be best for me. If you were in Europe, you'd go ahead and pick this one. This will be explained by your provider. You have other information here. There's ports. I will talk about this later. As of now, just focus on the host. If we go to my second example, this is another provider. This is how they send me the information. So I have my ID, my username, my password, and everything. But the server, so the host URL is going to be right here. And this is what you want to insert here. So I will go ahead and fill in the information of my provider. Once you have entered your information, you want to click on test server. So this is connection successful. If you have issues here, make sure every information you've entered is correct. Now the next step is extremely important. I would not skip this step. You can go ahead and click on advanced settings. So this will open a lot of things. I will explain you what they are. The first one is port. What you want to do is make sure that the port you have selected is SSL. I will explain. If we go back to my providers here, the information they sent me. As you can see, there's connection settings and there's many information here. One is SSL port. So you can see it's 563 and there's standard port 119 and there's another SSL port here. You want to use the port that is SSL enabled. So for my case here, it's 563. If we go back here, the port is already at the correct value. If we go to my other provider, this is the information they send. On their interface, as you can see, port here is 119, but you can see it's not SSL. And the two next one are SSL enabled. This is 563. I will go ahead and choose this one. So if we go back to my UI, this is the port that is correct in SSL. SSL is an encryption between you and the server. I highly suggest that you enable it. It's enabled by default. The next thing you want to do is set up the amount of connection that you have. I'm going back to my providers. You can see on the information they sent, the max connections is 50. So as of now, I'm going to put it as 50. Okay. If we go to my other provider, the amount of connections is 50. It's the same number. So we're fine here. All of this information that I've shown you here, no matter what provider you choose, they're all going to send you this information again, either on your profile or by email. For the rest of the settings under connection, article per request, and certificate verification, I will leave it as default. And before you go to the next step, I will hit again test server to make sure nothing is broken and the connection is successful. So now setup is now complete. There's information here. Don't worry about it for now. The folders and everything will be set up later on. So now you can go and click here, go to SABnzbd. So we have reached the initial SABnzbd interface. This is technically your software is installed, but I want to go over very important steps to make sure it's running properly, it's set up properly, and you're going to have a great time with it. So the first thing you want to understand, if, for example, you close all of this by accident and you are on your desktop, how to access SABnzbd is really simple. You go on the bottom right here, you right click on this icon, and you go and show interface. What you want to do next is go on top right, there's a cog, you click on it. This is where all the configuration are possible for SABnzbd. I will go over the most important one and the one that you must set up on your first startup. So you go ahead and click on folders. This is very important. This is where your temporary download folder is, and this is where your completed download folder is. So as you can see, you have two setup here. Usually what people do is they have SAB installed into SSDs, and they have the folders where the file are into the much larger hard drives. To change the folders, you click on Browse, and you use this arrow to navigate where you want your folders and your files to be. For me, if you go up, this is my SSD. On this servers, I do not have the hard drives, but in your case, you're probably going to have a C, a D, an E, and all of your hard drives are going to be there. So this is where you'd select what you want your completed and downloaded folders and files to be. If you have no idea where you want your files to be and you're a bit lost when it comes to SSD and hard drive and whatnot, you can leave it as is, and it's perfectly fine. The other one that is super important to set up properly are the servers. So if you click on this, this is the server that you have entered at the setup wizard earlier on. As you can see, this is my information. You want to go ahead and click on show details, and this is all the information that you've already entered. And you can go ahead and click test server here. It's going to show connection successful just as before. What is important to understand is that if you had servers, okay, so on Usenet, you can have multiple providers. If you have multiple providers, make sure that the unlimited providers are a much higher priority than your block accounts. With a little bit of movie magic, I have added another provider. So my first one is going to be the one that we set up together. It's my unlimited provider. And the second one is my block account. The reason I have two here is I want to explain the priority. So on my unlimited, I have priority 0 because 0 is the highest priority and 99 is the lowest priority. And on my block account, I have set the priority to 1. What that means is when you're downloading on Usenet, it's going to go ahead and use your unlimited providers first. And if the file is not available on the provider, it will jump to your block accounts. It's very important that this is done this way because you want your unlimited providers to be used first and only use your block account as a backup. From now here, you can go ahead and if I simply click Save Change on both of those, I'm going to refresh real quick. I'm going to click on Server here. This is going to be your servers. And as you can see, what is very important is my priority here is 0 and my priority here is 1. On this view, you really need it to be that way. If you want to change priority, you can go and click Show Details. And you have priority here. For example, if I want it to be put at 10, you can go ahead and do that and click Save Change. Also, on block accounts, I'd go ahead and change the priority. For example, I'd use my cheapest block account first and the most expensive block account at the end. Again, with the movie magic, I've deleted my block account. So I'm back in sync with you guys and I have one unlimited provider. And the next step you want to do is you want to go into General. you want to scroll down until you see tuning. So this is your maximum download speed. This is what your ISP gives you as a speed. For me, it's about 125 megabyte per second. You go ahead and click Save Change. It's going to tell you that you need to restart. You go ahead. We're back at the main page. We are almost done, but those next steps are crucial. You're going to go on top right. There's a wrench. You click on it. And this is going to be benchmarking your installation. It's super important that you do it so it will give you exactly what is happening and what are the problems. So on this interface, what you can do is you're going to hit one of those little spinning arrows. That's going to load for a little bit, and we're going to talk about the results. When the benchmark is done, what you can see here are your results. What is important here is your system performance. This is your CPU. It needs to be above 100,000 because when you're downloading on Usenet, it's downloading many, many files and it needs to unpack them together. But as a rule of thumb, you just need it to be above 100,000. The other information that is important is your download folder speed, complete folder speed, and internet bandwidth. As you can see, you have three numbers here. What's going to happen is you're going to be bottlenecked by the lowest number here. For me, as you can see, my folder speeds are pretty high because I'm downloading to a high-end NVMe SSD, and my bottleneck is going to be my internet bandwidth because I'm at 101 megabyte per second. If your downloader is slow, this is going to be the first check you need to do because this is benchmarking your hardware and your ISP download speed. For me, I'm really happy with the results, so I'm going to go ahead and do a test download. This is downloading directly from your provider that we've set up earlier. You go ahead and click, and as you can see, this is downloading extremely fast, and I'm very happy with the download speed. I've let the download finish, and the other bit of information that is important is you can go into a finish download here and you can click the arrow, and this will give you important information. For example, where it's downloaded, how long it took, the speed, and also which server it used to download. From now, your SAB is completely configured and installed, but I'm going to give you a couple of tips and tricks. The first one is when you add NZB, you can of course click on here and this is going to show you this interface to add things. For me personally, what I like to do is I like to scooch this over. I like to have my NZB download. For example, all of those are Linux ISO. So if you have, for example, 20 NZB, I don't like to add them using this interface. I like to simply use my drag and drop. I select them and I drag and drop here, and they are instantly queued to be downloaded. The other thing I want to remind you is that software is run mainly in the background. So for example, if I were to close this, it's still going to be running. So make sure that when you close the software, you go and right click, shut down, and that's where it's closed properly. And to open it back up, you simply double click on this and it's going to open on the bottom right. And if you want to open the interface, you really use the right click on this. So that's it for me. I hope I have helped you install and configure SAB. Check out my other videos on my channel because I have plenty of good tutorial. For example, I have a top 10 advanced tips and tricks that can enhance your SAB NZB install. So thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.